Hey, it's Chris and Brian from Resolve Technology. Today's topic is shadow copies and why you should enable them on your servers. Shadow copies it doesn't cost you anything. It's built into the operating system of the server, and used to be on workstations, also Windows workstations, but they did away with that. There is another type of backup, if you will, for that. But for servers, you still have the old-fashioned shadow copies. And just to give you a real world example, we had a client this morning that needed to use them. We also found out that you need to occasionally run schedules, your backup plans and schedules by your client, because in this case, the client was coming in earlier than expected. We had shadow copies running from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every half an hour, but that wasn't granular enough or early enough because he was in at 5 o'clock and it's set to 8. So Chris is going to get into that a little bit, how you would run that schedule. And it gives you a basic little backup system for things like user errors. And if you make mistakes or something blows up, it's a quick restore. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, sure. So if you wanted to configure that on a server here, you'd click on the drive and you'd see this setting here, configure shadow copy. So if we click on that, we get this prompt, we hit yes. So then we come up here. So you can, usually if it was like a file server we're doing this on, you'd likely see another drive here. This is just the lab environment, so you're not going to see much. But it's set up currently for the C drive, and it has one restore point currently. So if I come in here and go to the setting, you can set a maximum size limit, and it tells you need at least 300 meg free space to create a shadow copy. But if we come down here to schedule, that's the important part. So you can get granular here, and you can set it to daily, weekly, monthly, once at system startup, at log on, when idle, although we often don't use that one. And you can set it every 1 day or multiple days. And you can also even set an end date or repeat the task every 10 minutes for a duration of 1 hour. You can get real granular with it. Now, if we wanted to restore something, if I come in here and we go into the shares folder, I got a test folder with this in here. Say I deleted this out. We could just click on properties here and go to previous versions. And you'll see that restore point I showed you earlier. If we restore, now we come back in here, my document's back. So it's almost like a self-service, previous version for an end user. So it's real convenient in that sense. It's generally not the only solution we use, but it's one we heavily consider in a Windows environment, especially if it might reduce the chance of getting a ticket because say you train the users on how to use it. So that's one less thing you need to do.
Right, like in the case of this morning, the client has that capacity and knowledge to do the restore themselves. So in this case, it's a great option. It's a go-to for us sometimes to restore things quickly, but typically we have a better backup system in place, both on-site and off-site storage of files. This is just a nice to have. And remember, you do want those higher end backups to go with this, because one of the first targets in a ransomware situation, if your computers are compromised, the first things they start to go for is to encrypt these shadow copies so you can't use them. So it's important that you don't just use this as your only tool for backup. Okay, thanks a lot, Chris, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.